The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now.
You're now tuned in with iLLANOiZE Radio with your host Biko, iLLANOiZE Jones, and Pretty Riot. Turn your radios up and spread the noise.
As we like to do at this time, man, y'all feel free to take a seat. As promised, we promised you guys a dope interview with one of my favorite homies from Chicago that's been making hella noise, man. She's been doing her thing. Like I said, we bring some of the illest guests from around the city and globe. And today we got my homie Toni Romiti in the building. Make some noise. You good, you won't.
Don't spill over her drink, Biko.
You say what?
Don't spill over her drink.
Hi guys, I'm Toni. Hello.
Make some noise for Toni Romiti, man. Fresh off the plane from LA.
Thank you.
You know, how you been, man?
I'm good.
Man,
This is pretty cool, I can't lie. I like the barcade setup. That's pretty nice.
I told you it was gonna be
the idea.
dope. You know,
it's cool.
I got your back. You know, like a bra strap. I couldn't say it right the first time. Now, you know, Toni, you have a very, very, very interesting story. You know, a lot of people say they know you from Vine. Feel free to, you know, speak on that a little bit.
Bitch, what? So basically, yeah, like in 2000, I would say in 2011, I started to like really go after music. I was a sophomore in high school. I started to make YouTube covers and stuff like that. And then in about 2013 was when I released my first song, which was called Nothing on Me. And so at that point, I was gaining a following on Instagram. I was one of the first people, I would say not one of the first people, well, yeah, I would say like in Chicagoland area, I had one of the biggest followings for a while. And I was able to capitalize on it in a different way. A lot of the time I forced a lot of kids to go to different platforms. So when I had my following on Vine and I dropped Nothing on Me, in order to make, or like get people to listen to the song, because you know on Vine back in that time, there were no links. So you had to try to figure out a way to get people to go listen to what you wanted them to listen to. So I would literally put my number on Vine and I would say, if you want to listen to this song, text link to this number. And so I would literally get text all day of people saying link, 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 and then I would just copy paste, to the point where like I literally destroyed my phone battery. Like my phone exploded just from the amount of people that used to FaceTime me at the same time and stuff like that.
Damn, you overheated that thing.
But yeah, so yeah, I just continued to make vines and stuff. I was playing basketball in college. I had a full scholarship to play at a school called South Carolina Upstate. That was cool. My coach was a hating-ass bitch.
Oh?
But like...
Bitch what?
Right, bitch what?
But yeah, like, so basically I had a friend, her name was Nisi, and she used to twerk. And so she was on the basketball team with me, and I would make these vines, and every single time that she would twerk, I would go like, hey, get it, bitch. What? Like that. And so eventually, that sounded funny. Eventually, it just stuck, and I would basically make videos like, the teacher says you have a 30-page paper due at the end of winter break. Bitch, what? Like, that's how it started. And then there was a couple Jersey DJs who made some remixes to it. And then literally at the peak of where, like, my most peak moment on Vine and the internet in general, my basketball coach, literally banned me from the internet. I couldn't use the internet at all. It literally, yeah.
That's fucked up.
How do a coach ban you from using your social media? That's yours.
So I'm going to school in the South at the time. And I felt like it was very hater. Like, it was such a big hater. Like, it was like, basically there was a video that we made after practice where we pretend like one of my teammates slapped me. And like, so we had on our like basketball jerseys and stuff like that. It was after a scrimmage, like we were playing and everything. So my teammate like fake slapped me. I slapped my hands together and like threw my body on the ground. And I reposted it, and because I had so many followers at the time, it kind of went viral a little bit on Vine and ended up getting to the athletic director. And my coach, she brings me in the office. She's like, I don't know what you're doing on this Vine thing, but I hear a lot of niggers and bitches. So that's what she said to me. And I was like, I was literally like appalled, kind of.
What was this coach ethnicity?
She was white. Yeah, she was white. She was white. Yeah, she was white. But you know, she was trying to say it in context, but it was definitely like that was awkward. And then
Bitch, what?
Right.
yeah, she said to me like, she goes, you're not doing this for your dad, and you're not doing this for your sister, and you're not doing this for like just basically trying to say like what my goals are, what I'm doing here playing basketball, which pissed me off for the simple fact that my dad passed away and I never spoke to her about my dad. So it was just like, bitch, she literally, she pissed me off.
Speaking about my daddy.
Yeah, it was awkward. And then so she banned me from the computer, and every single person on my team was allowed to use a computer but me. And anytime I would post on like Twitter or Instagram, I would get a message from like one of the assistant coaches, and it would just be like, delete it. That's all it would say. It would just say delete it. I'm like, I blocked all you bitches. How are you even seeing my post? Like, I want to post. Yeah, so like I created the Bish What merch with my manager Jordan, who wasn't my manager at the time. We just started working literally through merch stuff. Okay. And we ended up making like $80,000 off Bish What merch, which was pretty fun.
Crocker. So wait, you said you made $80K off of Bish What merch.
Yeah.
Independently,
just the
body
internet.
backing you,
yeah,
just the internet.
Wow. Like my manager Jordan, he basically at the time he lived in Los Angeles, so he put up all the money for the merch, and we would just split it. But he would put up all the costs, so it was pretty cool. Like it worked out, and it was cool. It was like my first time like understanding a little bit about like what could happen just from the impact of what the internet means.
Do you feel like Vine, because you had to make videos in 6 seconds, do you feel like that made you like a better marketer? Made you market yourself better?
That's a short time.
Yeah, because like I ain't go from my move. I was so happy to do this because I was one of them girls walking around talking about, bitch, what? So
thank you.
That was impactful. So like, did that make you market yourself differently because you were able to wrap yourself up in 6 seconds so often?
I honestly think that it's easier because you don't like say you got to make a minute-long video and keep someone engaged for a minute and like make them laugh the entire time. That's different. 6 minutes, you could literally be like, suck my dick, and people could think that's funny, and that's it. Like literally, it's just random things that people say, especially because at that time, the like video and everything was so new. Like I don't even laugh at half the shit I used to laugh at because.
Do you feel like Vine killed our attention spans?
Yeah, like I think that the way that we consume things, we want it quick, we want a loop, we want it funny, we want it fast. It definitely changed everything. It changed everything.
Facts.
Because it made people feel like, because for a while for me, especially about 3 years ago, people used to always try to put me in a box. They would never give me my respect musically because they would be like, oh, she's the girl from Vine. It's like, no, I just capitalized using a tool that you didn't use. It has nothing to do, it's like literally that would be like going up to Justin Bieber and being like, you're a YouTuber, aren't you? It's like, no, that nigga literally just got famous off YouTube.
You did.
From using YouTube. It's like, so it's interesting. Yeah, like 3 years ago, it was definitely different when it came to like me putting myself out there. But I feel like everyone has to use the internet in order to be anything today. So it's the opposite. You have to be popular on the internet if you want a successful career.
How do you feel about these artists? You know, we had a ill talk topic with Russ about Russ comments on rappers have more followers than money. How do you feel about that situation? Because, you know, like you said, social media is pretty much the wave right now to get your business out there and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So how do you feel on Russ's statement?
Well, I think it's true definitely for a fact. I mean, well, it's like for most people when they're signed to a major label, like, okay, you can have a song and it do really well, or you not even a song, fuck a song. Say you're someone who is like extremely attractive on Instagram, which is half the battle. So say you're extremely attractive and you're doing stuff with your Instagram and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know, fuck it, I want to make a song. I want to make a rap song. How many kids have we seen do that? That same exact thing.
A lot.
So like, it's like, that's what's different. It's like, if you gain an audience on Instagram for doing funny shit, or you gain an audience for being a bad bitch or being pretty, you can't always assume that those same people are gonna go and listen to your music. Just because you look pretty doesn't mean people give a fuck about your song. True. Or say you look like, you know, any of that thing. And I think that's what a lot of people are failing to realize, because Instagram is just it's a facade. It's like what you see on the front of what everybody's doing. But that literally does not equal dollar signs. Like, I could literally, and I'm not going to expose anybody because I'm not that type of person, but Spotify literally gives you the back end of everybody's plays. If you want to go on Spotify and you have an account, an artist account, and you want to go on there and you compare your plays to any artist, you can do that. And you can see how many plays they get a week. And these motherfuckers are not getting plays. They're not. Their bag is not, they're not chasing a fucking bag. They're not. It's like, they're really not. It's very, I think from my perspective, why it irritates me is because I think there's so many young kids and even people who are in my age group who are affected by this because they constantly are comparing their lives to something that's not even real. Like, it's literally not real. These people don't have money. I see these bitches in Los Angeles. They be sucking dick to go sleep at somebody's house.
And
I'm not trying to be an asshole, but it's like, that's really what it is. And people have this idea that, like, Instagram and like all these different like bitches look good. That doesn't matter. Niggas look like they got money. That shit does not matter. The label buys people's chains. Like, that doesn't mean you have money. Like, in perspective, the label is literally gonna take 83% and you're gonna walk away with 17. So how are you really making that much money?
You know
you
what?
gotta be on you gotta be on like fucking Khalid status to actually be making a really nice, decent living. Especially in the streaming.
She talking that shit.
No, hey, I told y'all Toni came to talk, man. I really hope y'all listening because she, like I said, she has a story to tell. Now, speaking on labels,
yeah,
you know, me and you, like they say when we talk on the phone, I talk for an hour.
I talk a lot.
Yeah, me and Romiti be having some in-depth conversation when we talk. So, you know, speaking on okay, Freddie B, I hear you. Speaking on labels, you know, I want to personally know. Hold on, turn that down. I personally want to know, you know, you already had the leverage. You have the numbers.
Yeah.
You have the audience. What made you sign?
Well, so for me, when I decided to sign, like up until the point of signing to RCA, I'm not signed anymore, by the way, guys. But up until the point of signing with RCA, me and my manager Jordan, we were like anti as fuck. Like, no, there's no reason. I've been independent for 4 years. I've done this so far. I'm making this, X amount of money a month. Why do I need to go with a label? And so we were just basically exploring the options of a singles deal with no option. And so if you guys don't know what that means, in label contracts, when it says an option, that basically means, it could say like 3 options, 2 options. That basically means that the label has the right to exercise the option to continue to work with you. The option is not yours. So like say you get signed to a label and you get a 2-album deal plus 3 options. So that basically means you have to do for sure 2 albums with them for a fact. But the 3 options means even if you don't want to work with these motherfuckers anymore and they still want to work with you, you still got to do it. And that's why people are stuck in the deals that they're stuck in. But anyway, so we just wanted to do a singles deal, which was for I'm a Dog 2, and we went and met with 300, and that was cool, and like they were talking a good game, like we met with Kevin Lyles and all those guys, and they were really nice. Mind you, I met with every single person at this point, all Interscope, anybody, any label you can think of, to the fucking small, indie labels, everybody. Okay. So, because at this point, I'm a Dog 2, like Kylie Jenner had posted on her Snapchat, and then this was during the time of like internet era, where if something was posted by Smiley Chapter, Kylie's on her Snapchat, then the labels would dick ride that because they're like, oh, if Kylie likes it, then more people like it. It's like she's the most viewed person on Snapchat. So all these labels are coming for me, and so I go to 300. I talk about a singles deal. We like the singles deal, but RCA also wants to meet with me too. So I go to the RCA building, and they have everybody in that bitch. They got the CEO, the CFO, the whole entire urban PR team. And everybody, all the labels we met with before, they never really did this. So I'm like, okay, they seem like they definitely really like me. So I play a couple of my songs, and they're just dick riding me. And I'm like, okay, wow, they really like me. They're like, talking about options, like, oh, this is gonna go straight to radio and all this. Whatever. Fast forward, we do the deal with them only because the deal was good. Okay. So like for me, I wasn't like most labels, they're gonna try to offer an artist like $30,000, $50,000 don't take it. There's no reason to. You might as well just be broke. Like, there's no reason to take $30,000 from a label because it's actually not your $30,000. It's still it's still their $30,000. And now you're probably signed to them for 4 albums and you have to pay them back that $30,000 with only 17% of your income. So if you think of it in that perspective, it really doesn't make much sense. You might as well just try to grind as hard as you can, get a song on TuneCore, and hopefully the streams will make you back some money. As far as putting yourself out, taking a deal like that. I mean, just because I personally don't feel like labels have the power anymore to really to say, this is who's hot and you guys are going to like it. No, the internet controls that. The label can't say who's popular anymore. Like when we were younger, all our media outlets were basically, TV, fucking billboards, anything that was promoted to us was through bigger entities that was controlled, who was paying from labels. That's why we saw, who was performing on Saturday Night Live. That happened through a booking agent with a label. It had nothing to do with just some person grinding their ass off. So, like, we saw who we saw when we were younger because that's who the label wanted us to see. Now the internet controls that. You don't have to be a slave to the idea of what a label means. And also, if you are okay with understanding that with being independent, you're not going to be the most famous. But if you're okay with being not famous and financially doing well, that's something that your ego is just not. You're going to have to figure that out within your own ego. If your ego is fragile, you're going to fuck yourself up anyway. But, yeah.
I've seen you tweet some of the amounts you've made independently. And I'm like, God damn, I ain't nowhere near that. Shit, let me get $1,000. You feel what I'm saying? But no. I've seen you, tweet out to your fans like what you've been through and what you go through. And me knowing you for quite some time and seeing you grow from the Bish What to the Nothing on Me to where you are
Nothing
now.
on Me, Bish What. No.
Like you grew.
Nothing on Me was first.
Sorry, but like seeing you grow in general, it was a blessing. Just I knew for sure. I'm like, Romiti got it, and I always thought to myself like, why sign? And because you already had the leverage, you had the audience, the money was pouring, the royalties was coming. You struck a deal with SoundCloud. And you struck a deal with SoundCloud early before SoundCloud finally started monetizing.
Yeah.
So, how did that partnership with you and SoundCloud even come about?
So, at the time in 2013, I was in college, and then I come back from college, and at this point, SoundCloud was my main platform that I was using to promote my music. So, at the time, I had a manager that I'm not going to say his name because I don't. Fuck him. But anyway, he was my manager at the time, and because SoundCloud was the platform that I used the most, they wanted to reach out to them and basically ask them to sponsor a tour or something. That was basically their goal for this or whatever. And so we set up a double trip. We go to LA for the first time. I'm 19. It's my first time going to LA. And then we also drive to San Francisco to the SoundCloud headquarters, and we meet SoundCloud. And we go to the meeting and shit, and the niggas that are managing me at the time, we go through the whole meeting. These niggas are so scary. They're sitting there like, so we're thinking that possibly, maybe if you guys thought that something in the eyes of maybe you guys could maybe sponsor a tour, and they're like, no. they're like, no. They're like, we don't want to do anything with SoundCloud that makes it seem like we're playing favoritism towards any artist. They wanted to keep it very, not so exclusive in that sense. They didn't want to publicly show, be that way with another artist. So then they were like, well, we are starting this monetization on SoundCloud, and we see that Toni has a very big, substantial amount of numbers, and maybe we could start off something like that. And we were like, oh, cool. We didn't even know what the fuck that was going to be a thing. So then, they in 2014, I got my monetization deal with SoundCloud, which was really cool, because that same deal is actually what saved me when I fell out with my old managers, and they were stealing money from me and literally just trying to ruin my fucking life like some bitch-ass niggas that I wanted to uppercut.
Can I ask a question? Not to cut you off. Yeah. But because I feel like a lot of artists deal with a situation where they have a really shitty manager. So because you went through that situation, did you ever think about giving up on music because those people kind of sucked the benefits of the music that you made? They took that from you.
Ooh. No, I never ever felt like I wanted to give up. I felt like I wanted to shit on them. I wanted them to feel so dumb. I wanted them to feel like the biggest idiots in the whole world for ever fucking with me. I did want to, smack them and throw bricks at their fucking cars, but it like I was pissed. I was mad. I mean, because at the same time, it's like people try to make it. People when they're literally fucking up your life, they try to say, "Well, it's just business, and business isn't personal." It's like, no, motherfucker, this is literally how I make money. Like, I literally dropped out of college to pursue this. You know this. I had a full ride. Like, I'm literally trying to do this. Don't tell me that it's not personal. It is fucking personal. It's very personal. So yeah, that was cool. That was a lesson, but I'm happy that I did that because I got to learn. And my manager Jordan, who I did Bishwat with, and who's been working with me for the past 6 years now, he's helped me so much. He is one of the main reasons why I've learned so much about monetization, how to make money off YouTube, all this stuff, like how to, like, copyright law, everything that has to do with just the legalities of music. And like, I'm able to now, inform my friends that want to pursue music and teach my friends, how to pursue music. And just even me, fucking with the label failing, say I didn't go with a major and I would be here today maybe speaking about what it's like to be independent. And what if I did have the thought in the back of my mind, what if things could have been different if I would have went with a major? And just because the idea of it, it's so glamorized, it's so romanticized, the idea of going with a label and becoming a pop big sensation is cool, but I'm glad I got to see for myself, and now I'm more appreciative of being independent. It's really awesome. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jones. I
Do you think
see your lip over there moving.
Do you think you'll ever sign to another major?
They would have to give me literally a ridiculous amount of money up front for me to feel like it was worth it. But if they didn't, then because it's like if they give you a really big ass advance up front, you could go and put down for a house and now you got money in equity. It's so many different things that you could do with an advance that I wish I would have known more how to do things. Like reinvesting my money. Because, yeah, it's like you owe it to the label, but you can do things if it's a big amount. You don't want to take $30,000, $50,000. It's really not that much money in the grand scheme of what it could be. But, yeah, sorry if that...
No, you good. It was like short-lived when you was with RCA. I don't think... What was the...
I stayed with them for 1.5 years.
See, exactly. That was quick, so...
Because I realized very quickly that it was not worth my time.
So how did you, it's a lot of artists that struggle getting out of their deals.
I don't think that's the problem. That's what I've learned. I think that labels who are saying, okay, so I think there's two situations. When artists can't get out of deals with their label, they're not actually in it with their label. It's the person that they signed to through a production deal who's being a petty ass bitch. It's usually never the actual major label who won't let the artist go. It's usually the artist is signed to a production deal, which is another entity who signed them to the label, who helped them get their label deal. So it's like that person might be petty and be like, oh, you don't want to listen to me? Well, you can't put out music. I own your masters. I think that's the issue. Because I feel like people who want to get out of their deals with major labels, think about it. If the major label doesn't let you go, people could literally, I mean, not literally, but people could go on the internet, and because the internet is so powerful, labels don't want that bad PR. They want more artists to sign to their labels. They don't want other artists to go and bash them. So I really do think that most artists who say that they can't get out of their deal, they're afraid to be independent, so they don't want to get out of it. Think about it. Like, if you've never been independent and you've literally relied on an entity, it's like almost like a woman who's been abused. This is the only option I have. I don't have any money. I don't have anywhere to go. I have to stay with you. I'm afraid to be alone. That's what it is. I don't think that motherfuckers really are just so tied down to their label. Motherfuckers don't be making that much money, so why the label want you that bad? They don't.
It's like,
I did not think this interview was going to go like this.
Hey, I've been anticipating this for a minute. Like, real talk.
I'm being serious, though, you guys. Like, people aren't making that much money. The labels are making a lot of money. Okay, put into perspective. On Apple Music, if you sell a song and it's streaming 1 million plays a month, you're making $10,000 a month. If you're with a label, you're only making $1,700. If you have a manager now, you got to split 20 with them. If you have a production company that you're signed to, you got to split 40% with them, and then you're left with the 60, and now you're left with 60% of 17%. Like, what the fuck? That's scary.
Yeah,
That's a lot of goddamn numbers.
Right,
It's a lot of people taking your money because, again, a lot of artists that are signed to major labels are signed to production companies first. Wow. So the production company takes a percentage before the major takes it. I mean, before the manager takes it, and then now you got to give your manager some, and now you got yours, and then you got to pay taxes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Damn.
It's like winning the lottery.
She just broke that down.
Thinking you won the lottery, and then they take them taxes out, and you realize you ain't won shit.
What? The taxes are like the most depressing part about it. You literally, you see why people be getting in trouble for tax evasion. Like, fuck you guys. I'm keeping all my shit. Fuck you. I'm running away. Especially because when you're self-employed, you're the one that's saying what. I literally just got audited by the IRS.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
They audited me this year, and I wanted to uppercut.
You don't want to say the name. You like, I ain't gonna say the name.
I'll say it. I had to pay $11,000 more that I already paid this year.
Yikes.
Damn.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
I don't want to get you pissed off on this stage because none of us need to get hit right now. I want to jump into the managing state. You know, any artist in the building, make some noise one time.
Let's go, artists.
Don't be scared. Come on. Artists in the building, make some noise.
Let's go.
There we go. So, you know, it's artists in the building. They would like to learn about management. So, for those that would like to know, pretty much, what should they look for when they're looking for a manager?
Someone that's really good at math. Like, period. Your manager should be someone that's really fucking good at math. If they're not good at doing math, like I'm talking percentages. Because for one, if you're gonna go through TuneCore and you're not gonna use, what is it called, Songstress, which is what I've been using lately, because they take a bigger percentage as far as the cut, like before you get paid, but they do all of the math for you as far as paying producers and that type of thing, because that's where it kind of gets fresh. Like, you don't want to be the person who thinks they're doing their due diligence, but really you're mispaying people because you don't fucking know how to do math. Like, I literally did that for 7 months. I didn't have a manager, and I thought I knew what I was doing, but I was mispaying hella people, and then my manager realized that I was, and the other people didn't realize it because they didn't know how to do math. I'm just kidding, but you know, people just assume, oh, they're paying me correctly, but I wasn't, and then I figured it out, and then I started paying them correctly. But yeah, get somebody that's really good at doing math, and also someone who doesn't want to be, like, you can't have a manager who also wants to be in the spotlight, who wants to be famous for being a manager. You need to be with someone who wants to see you win, who always wants to find a solution, because as an artist, you deal with so much anxiety and wanting people to accept you all the time regardless. So you're always on edge, feeling like some shit might not even be that big of a deal, but it can be to you, and you need someone who's, you know, able to come up with a solution versus adding fuel to your fire that's already pissed off. But yeah, you need someone that's responsible, someone that doesn't want to be in the spotlight for being your manager, someone who just wants to manage you and help you be successful. Your manager also shouldn't be taking more than 20%. That's where it stops at. And yeah, I mean, I'm actually a firm believer in no contracts. I know a lot of people don't want me to say that because as managers, like, people want to feel like they have something to fall back on. Like, if I'm managing this artist, I want to get the paperwork down so I know. Like, but I personally feel like once you put that in the mix, like me and my manager Jordan, we've been working together for 4 years now, and we never signed a contract. I pay him 20%, and he does everything. Literally, my manager he produces my videos, he edits my videos, he directs my videos, he does all of my cover art. Right now we're working on a cover project, and he is producing every single beat on the cover project. Like, he does everything.
You got a super manager.
Yeah, he literally.
Right.
That ain't no regular
that sounds
manager.
like a blessing.
That's a super manager.
Yeah,
right
he's
there.
very talented.
That nigga got talent.
Okay.
Yeah, he literally, and right now I don't actually have a booking agent, so he's been doing my booking for my for my stuff like that. But yeah, he's really talented, and I think that you need to have a good, just someone who you know has your best interest at heart. And so for me and him, it's like, because we don't have a contract and it's just literally our word is bond, our relationship is very strong because we know that we are committing to our word, which I'm gonna pay you. And I love Jordan, so I would never do anything. It's all about trust regardless. I think that paperwork just makes it more petty. That's how I feel. Because motherfuckers be petty. I feel like if we have a falling out and I said I'm gonna pay you. Don't do anything foul to me and I'm gonna pay you. Like, what the fuck?
Definitely.
But, I literally aspire to have a record label where I only take 20% of whatever I help people with, and it's gonna be literally called No Contracts. I'm gonna work.
So your label is gonna be called No Contracts?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something like this in the future where I work with artists and I help them just on a song-to-song basis as far as music videos go. So like buy the studio time, buy the beat for them, maybe buy a video up into like $7,000, and I just want 20% for wherever I help with. And that's it. And I don't want a contract. I just want to help people.
So with you speaking on, you owning a label within the near future, what's the ultimate goal for you?
Ooh, for me, I just want longevity as far as my music goes. So like, I've been happy for the simple fact that like, since releasing Nothing on Me, since releasing Switch Up, since releasing I'm a Dog Too, those 3 songs every single year stream more than it did the year before. Like, I've never, literally in the 6 years that I've been making music, I have never seen a decline, only a constant up the entire time. So for me, it's just about longevity and like hoping that, like right now I'm doing a cover project and I'm gonna cover Ashanti and Panic at the Disco and like all these other people. And so I guess my goal would be that when I'm older and there's kids that are, coming up in the music, another generation, that they would look to my music or like feel, I just want to inspire. I just want people to be like, oh shit, she literally came from nothing and now she did it type shit.
What's your recipe for longevity?
Thank you. Thank you. What do you say?
What's your recipe for longevity?
Consistency, authenticity, and fighting, like not letting your ego get the best of you. Because if you feed your fucking ego, you're gonna be miserable. Like something that I keep saying is, like, your ego is basically the thing that tells you what you think other people think about you. And those negative thoughts are only gonna hold you back. Or like, say you look at another person's numbers and you're like, I'm better than them, I should have more plays than them. It's like, why are you letting your ego say that? You're literally pissing yourself off when it's not even a competition between you and that person. All you have to do is focus on yourself. If you're financially doing well, it doesn't matter how many plays the other person has. Like that stuff doesn't matter. And I personally feel like, regardless, if you're making good music, it may not catch when you first drop. It won't, maybe it won't. It doesn't matter, but that's the power of the internet and the fact that the internet is fucking timeless. It's a fucking vortex. You can go forever. Like, literally, Monica is so gone. That challenge revived a song that was 20 years old.
Facts.
Like,
Big
fucking
facts.
Omarion. There's so many people that have been revived. Tyga. The internet would not, like, Tyga would not have been back to what he is if the internet didn't exist. Like,
Agree.
It's powerful. You don't have to have, sorry. What?
What's your question, big dog?
Yeah.
Right there.
Hold on, whoa. Hold on, we're going to get to questions in a little. Matter of fact, I ain't going to do you like that, my brother, because he had his hand up for like 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah, his arm, like he gonna catch a
nigga
crook,
hand
bro.
tied.
Motherfucker gonna get tied.
Yeah, you was holding that hand like, come on, man, come get me. What's your question, my brother?
Listen, I love Toni.
Thank you.
She is a wonderful artist.
Thank you.
Underrated,
Thank you.
especially. Number 6 loves her. All right? Listen. Hey, listen. I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question. You're from our backyard, right?
What's our backyard? Willowbrook?
You're from our backyard, from Chicago, right?
Okay.
I've heard you're from Chicago. No?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes.
That's your question?
You are, right?
That's your question?
Okay. What do you think about Chicago? You moved from Chicago. So what do you think about Chicago? No.
I think that Chicago has the best food. I think that Chicago is the most diverse yet segregated city in America. I think that Chicago has a lot of trauma, and I think that Chicago has a lot of talent, but we have a lot of trauma that causes people to be. We're hurt. We're a lot of. It's a lot of hurt people out here. Hurt people. I feel like that's why we don't support each other the way that we do, because it's our egos. Chicago is so hurt that our egos are like, man, fuck that person. I don't want motherfucking let to see motherfucking do it, man. Sorry, but I really do feel like we have so much talent. Like, Chicago literally has inspired an entire scene. Like, my boyfriend is from Australia, and when we go to Australia, when I tell you that Black American culture is literally so prevalent in every single place in the world.
Black culture is the new pop culture.
Black American culture. Not even black. Just Black American culture. Literally. The white person.
Okay.
My brother.
Appreciate you.
I'm half white. I relate to you. Yeah.
I want to know personally what made you leave Chicago and, go to LA.
That's what you was
Oh, well, so yeah, like.
I got you. I got your back.
Okay, so for me, I grew up in the west suburbs of Chicago. I grew up in Willowbrook. And so I personally felt like, but by the time I turned 21 and I had been putting out music and stuff, I didn't feel like people from Chicago proper, like actual city, really knew that I was from the city. Like, I'm not from the city, but from Chicago. So when I would go to parties in the city, I have friends that played. My best friend Kaylin, she went to Curie, and my other really good friend Kiera, she went to Morgan Park. So I would go to a lot of parties in the city with them, and people would come up to me and they'd be like, I would talk, I talk pretty proper, and people would be like, girl, where's you from? And I'd be like, I literally live 30 fucking minutes away from here. This is so awkward. And so I guess I just felt like no one really even knew that I was from Chicago anyway, so it didn't really matter if I stayed or not. It's not like...
Number 60.
And at the same time, too, I just felt like I wanted to move. I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to push myself. I wanted to be immersed. And, like, literally the first 2 months that I moved to LA, I got a writing placement with Chris Brown, like, right away. So everything that I had, went and took the chance on, it worked out. It was definitely crazy, too, just because every single week it felt like I was calling my sister with a new story, with a new person. Irma, I just met Justin Bieber. I can't believe it. Like random people like that. And it was definitely crazy. But I moved because, I felt like Los Angeles is way more, as far as, like, opportunity goes, and, like, people being in one vicinity, in one area, all doing the same thing, chasing the same goal, it's way more productive. Yeah.
So I got a quick question just to back step a little bit. So You said that Chicago people have a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Chicago people and their trauma is like the secret, like, ingredient to the recipe of Chicago artists that kind of just like makes the music different and make them stand out?
I feel like struggle regardless and trauma regardless creates really strong Black people in general. I think that why are Black people so creative when it comes to fashion? Because we had to stand out. Right. We wanted recognition for something because we're Black. Okay, now how can I stand out? I'm gonna dress the best. I'm gonna look the best. Why? Like, Black people are literally the most fashion. They're great at makeup. They're great at hair. Like, anything you can think of. Like, why are Black people the best at sports? Because they've been pushed to the utmost. Like think about, like, natural selection and just this is off, but I think about this shit, and I'm sorry if you guys are like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? But I really do think about the fact that, like, slavery accidentally created the strongest black race. Because if survival of the fittest is true and Darwin's theory is a thing, then all the strongest black ancestors that we have are the ones that survived. And those genes are what passed on to us. So we are descendants of the strongest black people because they made it this far. We made it this far. I don't know. I think about that shit all the time. But yeah, so I do think that struggle in general creates amazing people. I think Chicago just has some of the best creative, talented people.
He felt that shit.
Hey, it's crazy. Hey, I'm not even.
Thank you.
I looked around the room to see if any more claps was gonna jump off.
It's okay.
Waiting for it. He was like,
you know,
y'all ain't gonna clap with me though.
Anybody in the audience have a question for Romiti? This is your time to. Okay, my brother, I couldn't even get it down. That's what I'm talking about.
I heard you say when Biko asked you about a deal, you said they would have a deal with a major label. You said they would have to offer you a lot of money. When you go into these major labels, along with the money, do you ask them about publishing and your masters as well?
Okay. So like for me, when I first signed with RCA, what was a big deal for me was everything that I made up until that point, you can't have it. So that was kind of something that they were like going back and forth with a little bit because they wanted my previous catalog. Bitch, no, you can't have that. That's literally, I worked so hard for this. And at that point, not to brag, I was grossing around $50,000 a month. So just from my independent catalog that's another thing too. Yeah, when you go to the labels, you definitely do need to have a little bit of leverage as far as what you've already been doing. You need to show them that I am worth a little bit of money because I can make my own. So yeah, you definitely can negotiate any fucking thing you want with them. If people don't want to negotiate with you, then that's not the person that you should be working with anyway. No one should be taking your publishing. So if a label is trying to take your publishing, they can suck a dick. There's no reason why they should take your publishing. Like literally, if you're someone who's writing your own music, there's no reason why they should be taking your publishing. Now, say you want to go and do a publishing deal, that's cool, but those are two separate things. A song is made up of 200%. The 100% is your master, the other 100% is the publishing. So if you want to make money from streams, that's the master. If you want to make money on radio, you're going to make money from publishing. But radio, how many songs really get on radio anymore? So that's why it's important to own your master. But also don't give away your publishing because if you're a great songwriter, you can get a fucking publishing deal that's bigger than a major label deal.
And he got a part two to his question.
Look, he like, hold on, she just strike the motherfucking nerve. She dropping jewels though.
So you said you had you said you struck a writing deal with Chris Brown, right?
So I didn't. Okay, so when I got the writing placement, APG, which is a sub label that's a part of Atlantic, and it's owned by Mike Caren, and Mike Caren is the head of creative direction at Atlantic. He handles mostly, like, you know when movies get like the soundtrack for like what's a movie? Lion King, or like Fast and Furious, and what's the other one that recently happened? Those with the fucking Joker, the girlfriend, Suicide Squad. So those two movies, APG, they directly did the syncing for that. So like they have writing sessions where they'll invite artists to come in. So at this time when I first moved to LA, they wanted me to come in to basically explore a deal. They wanted to sign me to APG, but I didn't want to sign to APG. Other people signed to APG is like Kevin Gates, Kehlani, Ty Dolla $ign, Saweetie, who else? Some other people, but yeah. So they wanted to sign me. I didn't want to do that. Then they're like, well, how do you feel about writing for other people? And I said, okay, well, fuck it, I'll try it. So the first writing session that I did, I wrote a song, and it's like, pussy get wet like water, but I don't call her. Pussy get wet like water. But yeah, so then I originally had like Chris Brown, Ty Dolla $ign, Post Malone, or Trey Songz in mind for it. And so Trey Songz A&R was actually at the studio, and I played it for her, and she was like, this would have been good for Trigger, but like we're focusing on Tremaine. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, hindsight, she actually came up to me at a party and was like, it was weird. Anyway, fast forward. But yeah, so basically, I didn't get a writing deal. I didn't take a publishing deal at all. That's the cool thing about getting a placement. You can write songs for other people. You don't have to sign your publishing away. You actually will make more money if you don't sign your publishing away and you get a big smash, because it's the same thing as how a label goes. If you're signed to someone, they take a percentage of your money. If you have a smash, you're making 100% of your publishing. A publishing deal is cool if you're like a producer and like you want to move to Los Angeles and you know you're going to be producing hella songs for people and getting hella placements and you need like $50,000, $75,000 to get yourself started, type of thing. But that's something separate. You don't make as much money from a master. You can make money off your publishing, but you should never, ever give your master away. But publishing, don't give that away either, because there's no reason to unless once you get to a point where you can be, have more leverage, there's no reason to give it away. I haven't signed a publishing deal yet, and I just keep getting offered publishing deals.
We got time for
it's a couple
few more
yeah,
questions.
sorry, guys.
Okay, we're going to take this brother right here. We're going to take this brother right here. State your name and where you're from.
What's up, man? My name is Toni. I'm from Chicago. I do music as well.
Hi.
I love what you're doing.
Thank
I just
you.
had a question. What was the distributor that you said? Because you say Songstress?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Okay, because I was trying to look it up because like one struggle I've had, I use CD Baby, but the problem is they can't send funds to the features or the producers, and it's so annoying because it's not like I'm trying to like cut people off, but it's like I can't find a platform independently that allows me to do that. So
I think I'm gonna literally, I'll text my manager and I'll tell you after this what it's called. I think it's called Songstress, but
okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm definitely gonna bookmark it once I get that from you.
Yep, because I think they do a split of 70-30.
Yeah.
But they do all the dirty work that you don't want to, that you're talking about.
Yeah, and that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Another question I have for you was, I know you talk about not signing a deal, but how do you feel about doing a partnership with a label like Russ? I've been watching a lot of his interviews lately, and how he has a partnership. I definitely don't want to give up my older catalog as well. How do you feel about that?
I'm not trying to speak on like Russ's situation because I don't know it, I don't know it all the way type shit. But he has a deal as well. It's not, if you say it's a partnership, it just sounds more cool for you, but really it's still a deal. Like you still have a deal with them. He still pays them a percentage of his money. But Russ is doing so well. He literally makes like $120,000 a month off his old catalog, so he doesn't actually even need to be with the label.
I gotta jump in because you have a feature with Russ, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that lets everybody know you cool with Russ. So with you being signed to the label, how does those work? How does the features work?
Oh, Russ is a real ass nigga. Like I literally, he found my music through Instagram. He started commenting on my acapella videos of me writing like random hooks, and then we followed each other. And then I had the song in mind that I wanted him to get on, so I just texted it to him, and I said, hey, Russ, I hope this isn't too far-fetched, but I would really appreciate it if you would, feature on this song. And then he didn't respond to me for like 7 days, and I was like, okay, this nigga's not gonna respond to me. And then he texted me back, and he was like, hey, I'm going to try to get this done before I leave for tour. And he was leaving for tour the next day. And I was like, well, why did you even tell me this? And then literally the next day I got the song back and he sent it to me. And he also did not charge me for a feature, which was awesome.
So long story short.
While I was signed to RCA and they didn't want to put that out. Sorry, RCA, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
I was going to say, it sounded like you did that yourself. You made that happen.
Honestly, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. And I'm not trying to discredit what that situation was, but I'm going to just say it in a nice way. Everything that I did and still doing, me and my manager did that ourselves.
Round of applause to that, man.
Yeah.
We got another question. State your name, man. Where you from?
My name is DJ Legendary from Chicago. So my question to you is, granted that you did the deal and now that you're independent, what's your take on some artists that feel like they can't go independent? Because we have those artists that feel like, okay, maybe I need the deal to start this off, but at the same time, then they go and break off and get independent, or they start off independent and then sign those deals. So like what's your take on that discrepancy between a deal versus being independent for artists that don't really have the resources or the
Everybody has the
necessary-
resource. That's what I feel like people have to realize. Everybody has the resources, and it's all about the way you think. It's mindset. It's all about the way you think of yourself and how you value yourself. So, like, something that I used to do before I could make a lot of money, you have to work with people that actually believe in what you're doing. And so, if you're working with people that actually believe in what you're doing, you can get videos done. You can literally say to somebody, hey, I don't have enough money right now, but I will pay you 50% of this video on YouTube until you make $2,000 back. And then once you make $2,000, I don't owe you anything. You got what you thought you were owed, and now we can go our separate ways. There's other ways that you can negotiate things with people if they believe in you. If they think you're going to make money back, then they're going to do it. If they don't, then they're not. I mean, there's definitely different ways to go about it. I also feel like being consistent in your craft is really what it is. And also, like, people have to remember that you have to be humble. You cannot pretend like you're the shit and think that you're the shit. That's not how it goes. Like, it really doesn't go like that. It doesn't. Like, there's so many times that I see people at, like, when I do shows in Chicago, and it'd be like fucking 50 fucking people on the stage, and then all these random people backstage, and everybody's somebody, or pretending that they are, or like introducing themselves in a way that you're like, did you really have to say it like that? You know, like, what's up? My name is Official Escalon. Like, you know, or like, I don't like when honestly, like, I don't like when people, I can't even explain. I'm going on a tangent, but I hope I answered your question. Yeah.
You most definitely did.
Yeah.
Damn, I hope I did not just forget this question.
You fucked up.
he got caught in the moment.
I most definitely did.
I do that all the time.
5, 4, 3. Nope, I forgot it.
Damn.
It's okay. I'll be around here. You can just ask me.
I gotta actually. We never got your name and where you was from, my brother.
Number 6.
My name is Sonny.
Sonny!
Yeah, thank you. Sonny.
I like that.
Where you from?
Right, I'm from Uptown.
Uptown.
Chicago.
Chicago.
We got that love.
We got that love.
We got that love.
I thought you was about to start
You guys
rapping.
don't know about nah.
Sonny from Uptown. Shout out to you, my boy.
Shout out to Sonny, man. Shout out to everybody that came up and asked the question.
Do you guys have any more questions? No? No more questions?
All right, my brother, state your name and where you're from.
How you doing? My name Kingpin Rue. I'm an artist.
Hello.
So, is there a right or wrong way when you feel like you have a hit single? Is there a right or wrong way of, how can you put it, like promoting it?
I'm gonna tell you guys what I do the most when I promote a song. Pay pretty girls to sing it. I mean, I feel like that, or if you, like, say you want, like, it just depends. It just depends on what audience you want to grab the attention of your song. Something that we also pay a lot of attention to now is TikTok. I don't know if you're familiar with TikTok, but TikTok is a very, very lucrative app as far as paying kids to make videos to your music, and it's viral. I can't explain it, why it's working like that right now. It's similar to how Vine was, to be honest. I think that's the most successful way. Yeah. I do think that, yeah, it's just all about getting the right kids to play your music, and yeah, you just have to pay them. That's kind of, I mean, and you can find certain kids who will post videos for, you know, but I think right now, to be honest, everything is so transparent that kids are so aware that they're being sold things that they don't want to consume it anymore. It's almost like they have to absolutely feel like it's so fucking cool, or they've already fucked with it, for them to give it the time of day. So what I will say is, to be an artist today and come out right now, like say you dropped a song tomorrow that was like a smash, it would have to be absolutely, it's so hard. I'm not trying to discourage anyone because it does sound hard, but it's worth it. That's the point. Nothing that you're gonna do is going to be easy. Nothing you're gonna work a 9 to 5, that shit's gonna suck. Work doing this shit, it's gonna suck, but it's gonna be worth it, and it's gonna be fun if you make it fun.
All right, we're gonna take one last question.
Hey, Tina. It's my sister.
State your name and where you're from.
Hi, I am Tina, and I am from Chicago. Hi, Toni.
Hi, Tina.
I have a question. Career-wise, if you could go back in time and change or do one thing differently, what would it be?
Ooh. I would, if I knew what I know now, I would have taken my advance and bought a house right away. Yeah, definitely. I would have done that. Yeah. I love you. That was my sister, guys.
Make some noise for Tina, right?
Yeah, Tina.
Make some noise for Tina. Look, y'all look just alike. I already knew who that was when she walked up. I was like, we gotta take this question.
Yeah, it's literally.
Now,
my big
before
sissy.
we actually get into your performance, I want to get personal for a second.
Okay.
That's the
Biko,
tequila.
watch right.
That's the tequila right
Because
there.
when Biko want to get personal.
So, I've been knowing you for quite some time. I've seen you go through some things. And I want to speak to you on...
She just down to fuck.
Damn, she just
down
went
there.
crazy.
That glass was just full, bro.
Like, I want to speak to you about, you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
So I want to personally know, and for the audience, I want them to know, like, how do you transition from an abusive relationship and still find time in your heart to find love? Like, how do you come over that situation?
Ooh, so I think that with young girls and I think that just like the way that the stigma is in society with women, not even young girls, with women and partners, and like once a girl has like a couple partners, society says she's, less valuable in that sense or whatever. So like when I first started dating Crazy Kaylin, sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but
hey, look, I experienced what
To all you ladies out there, watch out for that nigga.
Okay, but when I was fucking with him, he was somebody that I started talking to when I was in high school, and then I knew him before I became popular on the internet. So once once things started to pick up and we were cool, I felt like he really knew me, and sexually, I wasn't trying to be with another person. So that was like what was in my mind. Also feeling like I just didn't want to be vulnerable or open up with someone new. And so like a lot of the times that me and him would get into it, he would be drunk. And so I would make excuses for him being intoxicated until there was a time where his ass wasn't intoxicated and he did the same shit. I'm like, oh, nigga, you just crazy. you just got a lot of screws loose. So it took me a while, to be honest. It was a couple of, it took me a while. I didn't tell my sisters about it because, once you tell your family something, you can't go back from that. They don't like that person. And I knew that I fully wasn't ready to move on. I kept forgiving, But going from that relationship and, being single and dealing with the shit that I dealt with after that and now being in the relationship that I am now, one thing that I can say is I'm the type of person that I try to tell myself that other people's behavior doesn't affect my behavior. So if I want to show love and be a loving person, I'm going to be that regardless. And the way that you treat me is your choice. And I have the choice to respond however I want. But my initial action is always going to be open. I'm not someone that goes into a situation with their guard down, because if I don't trust and love and all these other things, how will I expect someone else to do the same? So yeah, I'm just someone that believes in like just be open and put your guard down and love hard because you never know regardless. And there's gonna be someone that loves you back the same way. And that's my love bug. Jacob, where are you?
Hey, shout out. Jake, well, he was over here.
He was over here.
He done disappeared.
Oh, there's the hand in the back.
Jacob.
Big shout out to Jacob, man. Like, I see you guys are happy. Shout out, Sonny.
Thank you.
I see you guys are happy. And like when I can tell you guys are happy because like looking on the internet, social media, how many women in here in general posting a man like that? Not many. Or if they do, they got an emoji face over the guy face.
I did do that at first when we first started dating.
Then you got comfortable.
Sometimes you gotta you have to do
Sometimes
a
you gotta be
boyfriend
ready. You gotta
reveal.
you gotta be like, you can't reveal them too soon, because then the moment
Because
you get
if
too
this don't
excited
work
about
out-
somebody, then if it don't work out, you embarrass yourself.
Right. You
So you gotta just
for 2 weeks.
take it, take it slow. But no, yeah, I'm someone too that I feel like I want young women in general to know that like you can be in the music industry and have a relationship, and you don't have to, and still you can still be sexy. You can still be all these things. You can still be desired. Because at the end of the day, niggas gonna want you. Don't matter if you're in a relationship or not. That don't stop nobody.
Fact,
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with women. So it's like the loyalty doesn't lie within the people who are lusting.
Look at that.
It's within the people who. It's within the people that are in the relationship. But yeah, I definitely too feel like. Yeah, I just want to be a good example of healthy, positive love, and still write songs about ain't shit ass niggas. I'm not talking about my nigga, but you know, no, I'm saying, but for real though, like I want people to know that you're capable of tapping into an old emotion and writing a song and writing a story. Because I feel like what's the difference between an author writing a book that they never murdered somebody, but they could write a story about murder. You know, I could write a story about murder too.
That's true.
So, and do it in a cool way. I don't know. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up because it's
Making me sweat.
Hey, shit, you just drunk a whole cup.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another one.
I mean, it was just dope to see you overcome that situation.
Yeah, thank you.
I personally experienced an episode with your situation, and I already knew. I'm like, damn, Toni dealing with some crazy shit. But I mean, homie was cool, but I definitely experienced one of them episodes.
Like you can't say homie was cool after that.
I don't know him personally.
Right, we can't be. We can't
he
be
a
him.
fuck
No.
nigga.
No, honestly, like to be honest, I don't try to hold on to stuff like that because, like, okay, like. That happened, and yes, at the time I wanted fucking everyone and their mom to beat his ass, like. But now what? That was 4 years ago now. He can fucking be the president. I don't give a shit. I mean, like I don't try to let things like that affect me. I've already forgiven the situation. Not to say I forgave him entirely, but I've already let it go as far as my anger goes. Yeah, because I don't want to hold on to that.
On the real, hey, no, clap it up. Don't be.
Six ain't start the clap up on that. That's what you supposed to do. That Six.
That's not easy to come back from, and she definitely made that shit
I
happen.
wrote a lot of good songs out of that too.
Hit records.
Amen.
Hey, she did a Usher Confessions part. But I mean, I appreciate you coming through.
Of course,
you flew
Biko.
all the way in from LA, man. To come rock with us. You've been a supporter.
Yeah,
of
I
us.
love to shed light and try my best to uplift or just inspire other people to feel like they could do it. Because when I tell you guys, I literally came from, I didn't have no money. Like I literally had no money, and I just worked at it. I worked at it, and I just bought a house, So like, you can definitely achieve anything you want to do. It's all in your mindset. It's all in how you want to do it. It's all how you perceive yourself. And it's definitely all about just, staying positive and knowing that if it didn't happen yet, it's going to happen. And you have to believe it. You have to believe it if you really want it to work.
Hey, give a round of applause to Romiti, man. She
Thanks,
came
guys.
through, laid some valuable information. I mean, dealing with labels in general is tough, and she definitely shed light on that, gave a lot of knowledge.
The internet is your label, and you are your machine. You just have to push yourself. And promotion on the internet is fucking free. Well, not as much anymore, but they're making us pay. But
Yeah, they sold it.
they're making us pay. But you guys can do it. If you want to be successful in the music industry with whatever, you can do it. And don't get caught up in the idea of like, oh, I need a stylist, I need a makeup artist, I need a hair, all this shit. You don't fucking need that shit. Be as frugal as you can, save as much money as you can. If you go on tour, do not bring every fucking person and their mom. Bring the people that need to come, and don't waste all your fucking money. Don't waste your money, especially like if you do decide to go the label route and they give you a budget, that budget is not free. You gotta pay it back. So when it comes to the label and your writer and the production for your videos, be frugal. Do not spend $40,000 on a video. That's stupid as fuck. I'm sorry. It's not. If I told you how much I spend on my videos and the money I make back from it, you'd be like, why would you spend $40,000 on a video? Unless you're fucking of higher stature that's like super fucking popping. Huh?
His question is, do people really pay $45,000
yes, people pay
for a video?
$40,000. Like, yes, easy. Like, $100,000 is... Somebody like Cardi B probably spends like $1 million or like $600,000 on a video.
Sick as fuck.
$500,000 on a video.
You know what I could do with all
But
that
she
money?
makes that back. That's why hers is... It makes sense for why she does that.
Gucci man, you want to know about Gucci man?
Yes.
Sonny
Look,
from
also
Uptown.
something else too. For a feature, 16,000. Gucci is not charging
That's the
16.
old Gucci.
That's like probably when he was 14. When he was
That's the old
16
Gucci.
years old.
Yeah, look, that's the old
Gucci probably charges like $100,000 for a feature, easily.
Yeah, and he post jail.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sonny from Uptown.
So we got a special performance from Toni coming up soon, man.
I don't know.
I honestly just
Maybe
want to.
not.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out.
Yes,
Celebrating
thank
with
you
us.
guys. I appreciate it too.
Yes, no,
Clap
y'all
it up
don't
for
be
y'all.
shy. Clap.
Right, y'all
There we
came out
go.
on a
It's
Sunday
our birthday.
night.
This shit was free for y'all, but it cost
You
for
guys,
us.
I recently got glasses like 2 weeks ago. I used to have glasses when I was 15, but I wasn't changing my contacts enough, so I got corneal ulcers.
Oh shit!
And then
I
I
need to
couldn't
take my contacts out.
Yeah,
at
it was
nighttime.
scary, and I had to. I couldn't wear them anymore. I couldn't wear them anymore. So then, I didn't wear them for a while. But now my license has been expired for 3 years. Like, so since I turned 21, I haven't went to go get a new license in LA because the DMV is like so crazy. Like, you guys think the DMV is bad here? It's ridiculous there. But yeah, so I need to get a new driver's license, but in order to get a new driver's license, I need to take the seeing eye test again. And because I can't see, I knew that they would make me go get glasses. So I finally got them. I'm going to go get my license again. But I wanted to wear my glasses because I wanted to be able to see you guys. Usually I can't see into the crowd and see people's faces. Hey, you look good in glasses. Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Shout out to
better be.
Sonny from
Hey,
Uptown. Watch out now.
Sonny, you better watch your back. Jacobs, he's somewhere. Nothing with you, man.
You keep playing.
Oh man, again, man, I thank you guys, everybody in this room, in this building. We work hard to get where we at. Like she said, consistency.
Support independent, hardworking people trying to
Thank
make
you.
it.
Like,
When I had just did a radio interview at Power 106 with DJ Charisma a couple days ago in LA,
Okay.
and there's a girl there who's from
Chicago, yeah, I know you're talking
and
about.
she said that she really likes what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank
well,
you.
shout out to her.
Hey,
Shout out to
yeah,
her.
I actually went to her event. She was back in Chicago. She had an event. It was called I Will event. Apollo Sogali actually performed on that stage, and Chanel True.
Hey.
But I definitely went there and supported. It was at hold on, wait, it's gonna come to me. It was at the Elbow Room, which is no longer gonna be around after December,
Oh,
which
that's
sucks.
sad. I like that
Yeah, they
space.
tearing that venue down.
What?
So.
Damn.
I don't know,
R.I.P.
man. Yeah, R.I.P. the Elbow Room. So I got the experience of Apollo and Chanel there, and I actually met her. So yeah, that was dumb. Happy. That's crazy how the universe operate.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey,
That's dope
shout
as
out to
fuck.
her.
Yeah, it was cool. She was like, yeah, she really like vouched for you guys. Which is nice.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look, the
That shit
tequila
too.
kicking in now.
Look, about to cry.
Motherfucking tequila
Oh, that's
kicking in.
That was dope.
You know, I mean, just looking out here, like our very first year when we did iLLANOiZE Radio Live, we did not have this many people in the
It
building.
wasn't. And it was a way bigger space.
Yeah, it was a huge space. And yeah, I mean, just looking how much a year can change. And at the end of the day, we're still growing. This is only the beginning.
It's only been 2 years.
It's only been 2 years.
Here come my
and-
terrible tools. We finna have a fucking ball.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool. I'm happy that you guys are doing this. Because I do think that, yeah, it's like new voices can control what people want to hear. You know, like a new platform, a new wave of people. Because what? Chicago has been controlled by the same DJs and the same, you know, for how long?
Long.
Too goddamn
So
long.
it's cool. Like I respect it. I think it's cool, and I respect it because you guys care about the young, you know, the up and coming people who need a platform, who need, you know, you guys don't just automatically cater to the most popular people all the time. You guys pay attention to the people who are working to get to that moment, to get to that place, and I like that. It's cool.
Girl, you gonna have me up
Yeah.
in here tears.
Shed
Yeah,
tears.
it's
Hey,
cool.
Tears.
It's dope, you know, like you see that, you know, hell, everybody in this room see it. They wouldn't, you know, you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't support. And I
We
mean,
appreciate y'all, man.
real talk. I mean, you gotta say we appreciate hard. We love you guys. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
That's
at the end of the day, y'all
We
make
love
us.
y'all.
Hey.
Y'all make us, man. At the end of the day, y'all make Romiti. Like, if it wasn't for her audience, she wouldn't be where she at. You know what I'm saying? So
Literally.
y'all make us.
Thank you, Travis. I love you. Travis came here
Oh,
to
yeah.
come.
I saw your
Is
tweet
that the
too.
one that came from Milwaukee?
He's a big Romiti gang.
Where you came from?
Where you came from?
Michigan?
Hey,
I
shout
saw
out to
you. I saw
That's
your
love.
tweet. You was like, man, I worked hard, but I'm on my way to Chicago right now to
Yep.
see Toni Romiti.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hey,
Travis.
big
shout
ups
out to you,
to
man.
Travis
Shout
in the
out to you,
back right
bro.
there.
Travis is a good guy. He's a nice kid. I really like him.
And he front and center right there, third row.
Yeah, I probably met him on the internet about 2 years ago, but I met him for the first time. He flew out to my Cleveland show. And
Oh,
it
you
was-
a real
That's
fan.
love. That's a real fan.
Yeah, it was awesome to meet him. It was cool. It was weird. It was almost like I was like, damn, did I meet you already before? Like, I've seen your face like 40 fucking thousand times. Yeah. And I'm like, is it Travis or Travis? Because I wasn't sure. He's like, everybody always says that's Travis. So y'all remember that.
So it's Travis.
Travis.
Oh, I said Travis. My bad,
Yeah.
Travis.
But yeah, he's a sweet kid. I really like him. So thank you for
Damn.
coming. I appreciate you.
Shout out.
We're going to
Much
take a
love,
shot.
man.
He's finally 21.
Okay.
Are we set up over there?
Are we ready?
Okay, well, we're going to keep it talking. If you guys actually want to submit music to the artist that's in the building, you can submit your music again, RadioILLANOiZE at gmail.com. That's radio, ILLANOIZE.com.
Make sure your music is clean.
Because we will delete it if it got cursing in it. But if we like
You
it,
know what we should do? I just thought of something. We should do something through iLLANOiZE Radio where it's like a contest where you guys submit your music the same way, but I'll repost it on my SoundCloud.
Oh,
y'all hear that?
Because that could be
Hey,
cool.
look,
I usually charge people for that.
I like
but
that. I like
and
that.
I'm going to tell y'all, a repost from Romiti is a motherfucker. Look,
okay.
she reposted my shit and it went crazy. So, hey, you know I'm telling the truth. This ain't no lie. She reposted a song, that thing still going up. And that was how long ago?
Look, you know his royalty checks
Right.
look good.
Okay. Biko, let me hold a dub. Cause what you...
So,
no, yeah, we should do that. That'd be
real
cool.
talk. Hey,
I like
that's
that
love,
idea.
man. So,
Because I feel like, yeah, like combining radio and, you know, SoundCloud, repost. I just
I
feel
like it.
people get, like, yeah, I wouldn't say that SoundCloud is the most used platform as much anymore because it doesn't pay the most. But still, I have at least like 150,000 followers on there. And I usually charge people to do SoundCloud reposts, and I get people like 10,000 plays in a week, maybe like 10,000 plays.
God damn.
Like 10,000, yeah, like 8,000 plays,
easy.
depending on it.
I
But
vouch
yeah.
for that.
Look,
Yeah,
look, his checks looking good.
but I feel like that would be cool. I feel like that would be really cool.
I mean, speaking on SoundCloud, you know, a lot of, you know, I feel like SoundCloud get a bad rep now. from like the little pumps and things of that nature. How do you personally look at SoundCloud's platform compared to now like the Apple Music, the Spotify, the Tidal, the YouTube?
I just think that because artists are doing exclusive releases through these more major platforms, it's more lucrative. Like SoundCloud just can't compete as far as monetization goes. Like SoundCloud per million plays is probably only around $1,400. So in comparison to Spotify, which is around 4 to 8, and then Apple Music is 10, and then Tidal is like up to 10 as well. It just doesn't compete. It doesn't make sense financially to put it on SoundCloud. But I love SoundCloud so much. They're amazing. Like I said, if I did not have my monetization deal with SoundCloud, and the manager that I had at the time wasn't, fucking me over, basically what happened was in 2014, they were not paying me my money. So then in 2015, I was not getting money. The distribution platform that I was working through called 101 Distribution, they weren't paying my money. They still owe me like $55,000 to this day, but I just haven't even gone after it because it's like they filed for bankruptcy and shit. But anyway, so that was happening, and then my old managers weren't giving me my money from SoundCloud. So I had to contact SoundCloud and tell them that they weren't paying me my money. So then I asked SoundCloud to freeze the account. So that's what they did for me, and they basically froze it until the dispute was over between me and my old managers. And then basically there was a loophole in our contract that we signed that they owned my music up from this point until this point. But I released my first album called Lemonade a month before I signed that new contract with them. So basically all the music that they were collecting money off of, they didn't fucking own it at all. So I basically figured that out, and then I came after them like, you bitches have been infringing on my copyrights. You guys never owned any of my music to begin with. You guys have been making money off this music. They got scared, and they finally just let me out of my deal. And then SoundCloud paid me $12,000 in the beginning of 2016. I took $5,000 and I reinvested it into my project. I literally wrote a schedule out, and I would record in the studio once a week for 2 hours, actually twice a week for 2 hours. And I would write half the song before I got to the studio, write a hook at least, and I would finish the song every session, every 2 hours. And then when I was finished with my project, Just Like You, which, costed me about $5,000 with the cover art and music videos and stuff like that. And then, within the first month that I released Just Like You, I made $15,000 back. And then from that point forward, I haven't stopped. So, it was...
Shout out SoundCloud.
That's game.
Yeah.
And before we get into your performance, lastly, you dropped Lemonade, which was one of my favorite projects.
Thank you.
I remember the original Lemonade.
Yeah, Beyonce. I'm kidding. We love Beyonce.
It was you, and it was a kid at a lemonade stand.
Yes.
That was the original. Now, what in the hell happened where you re-released Lemonade? It was, that, and then it switched.
So I was telling you about the 101 distribution people. So since they weren't paying me my money, I had to take that shit off of their distribution platform, and then I re-uploaded it on TuneCore. So that's why it was a different cover art and stuff like that, because we wanted to just gain attention again, use a different cover art, and just re-upload the music again. I'm kind of pissed off about that though, because the version of that album that I released on TuneCore, a lot of the songs aren't mixed to the highest. Like, I didn't upload the right versions of them. They're distorted, some of them. But I ain't taking it down. Sorry, but
I didn't notice.
I noticed because I know what they're supposed to sound like. Like, Little Girl is distorted to me. Yeah.
I enjoy Lemonade. That was
Thank you.
one of the first projects I bought, because that was your debut album. I bought that. I still got it right here on my phone.
Yeah, that was when you had to actually still buy it from iTunes. Now you don't have to.
I mean, again, thank you guys for coming out. We got a special performance
from
my homie Toni Romiti.
Make some
noise
noise
for Toni Romiti.